home with. If they come into your office or leave the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, are you hiding behind the desk? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's how you do. But then you be a male chauvinist or something.
Mm-hmm.
And what's with this Colin Kaepernick and stuff and being on GQ and stuff?
Colin Kaepernick is known as the Citizen of the Year, Troop. What's going on, everybody? Today is Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. Thank you for tuning in and logging on. And welcome to Truth It in the AM. It is your boy Truth It here to address any and all things when it's time to and it's time to. And by my side, I got the one, the only, too real to be phony. Trooper Joe is in the building. Troop.
Hey, folks. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Undeserving, though. Undeserving. Totally undeserving. And how is everybody? It's cold up here. We got snow all over cars and stuff. It's ridiculous.
You hate the cold, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need a break from summer sometimes. Even though I'm not really enjoying the cold right now as it is. I don't know why. I'm just not. I'd rather it still be summertime.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like the desert.
Yeah. I don't think I like the desert too much. But where you're moving to, that's going to be cold, isn't it?
I guess they got cold up in the mountains, and then down at the bottom of the mountain, you got the desert.
So are you going to be living in the mountains or in the below?
I don't even know how Salt Lake is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's not Worcester. I know it ain't going to be like Worcester.
Okay, it might be colder. You never know.
It might be, but I'm thinking, nah, it ain't going to be like Worcester.
Okay.
Especially where I live. Down in the city of Worcester, it'll be 40. By the time I get to my house, it's 32. It's like...
Speaking of Worcester, today is Voice of the Voiceless Tuesday. So we'll be talking about Worcester from 12 to 1 p.m. on 91.3 FM WCUW.
That's right.
So if you have access to a radio, you can catch us there. That's when we'll be talking about all things Worcester. We might talk about a couple things that's going on in Worcester here right now as well. But I have a question, True.
Yeah.
When is it okay to hit on a woman? And I let me explain. If you see a beautiful woman walking down the street and you say, "Hey, miss, I think you're beautiful," they call that catcalling.
Catcalling?
Catcalling, yep. And they are against that. Catcalling is they had this one woman do a project and she had a camera attached to her.
Oh.
People didn't know she had a camera attached to her, and she walked through New York and she got harassed, and it was tough to watch. True. The men were pigs, some men were even following her, just walking alongside her like they knew the girl, and I was like, man, this makes men look bad. But when is it appropriate for a man to, because it just seems more and more now, you can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that like, oh man, we should be able to yell and scream to them and say what we want to them. But I mean, I want to know, not for future reference because I'm married, but when is a non-sexually harassing time to actually hit on a woman?
I wouldn't know. I'm married too. But you know, when I was single, and when I was a young stupid guy, I thought I was supposed to have 6 strong women.
Well, on Earth, there are 3 women to every man on the planet.
6 strong women.
You're stealing someone's 3 women from them, I guess.
But my rationale was because I didn't want any commitments.
Okay.
You know, and I didn't want to be tied down because I'm so eclectic that it's like, you know, I didn't want to make somebody feel, you know, uncomfortable or something. I might say, you know, I want to go to a play, but the woman I'm with, she might be someone who likes dancing on the barroom table. You know, and then it's uncomfortable for me. So I have 6 strong women. Ones who like dancing on table, ones who like going to plays, ones who like hiking in the woods and stuff like this, and just doing all those stuff. That's the way I saw things going for me. I got lucky and found a lady who my honey likes most of the things that I like, so that's a good thing.
Right. So, when you first met her, how did the courtship begin?
When I first met my wife?
Yeah.
Well, she came in the gym with this mean face.
Uh-huh.
She looked all mean and everything, like made me laugh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then I spotted her doing some eye nose breakers and stuff. And then, we just hit it off. But then she was doing an experiment at the Brigham and Women.
Uh-huh.
And I was at the Brigham and Women at the time.
Okay.
And we had a second opportunity to meet outside of the first environment.
Okay.
So, the first environment set up the hello, how you doing, stuff like this here, interest kind of peaking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second place was, let's go to lunch and stuff, and then, and then I stuck her in a tree and took a picture with my little cardboard camera.
Okay. So, see, things like that. When I met my wife, I was getting a tattoo done by her stepfather. And her mother called me and told me to take her out. That's not sexual harassment. So those are ways, I guess. So we got, if you meet him at the gym and you help spot him, but then again, so a lot of women, if you would have met her today in today's world, and you would have met her and asked her to help spot, or help spot her while she's lifting weights, some women might take that as you hitting on them, and that's sexual harassment.
Yeah, I think it was more the opportunity came from the second meeting. She was in the lab, doing experiments in the lab.
Okay.
So that was a different thing. And then outside of the gym, you can because if you meet somebody in whatever environment it in, you tend to talk about that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So this way, it was kind of eclectic.
Well, I think men need to learn what's a good time and what's not a good time to hit on women.
Yeah.
Men need to be. I think we need to be educated.
Educated?
Yes, because I think men are stupid and we don't know any better.
Men like to play.
Yes, we do.
Men are generally ruled by the hormones.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So I think
there got to be some brain power in there too. Some gray matter has to be incorporated into.
Yes,
that can't just be running around.
Right, I agree. And Hollywood, there's a purging that's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually, I think the world is actually cleansing itself, or our culture, not the world.
Yeah.
America is actually cleansing itself of the old pig-headed man, the old chauvinistic man. The chauvinistic man is dying in this country.
Yeah, it's his own fault.
Some of the most powerful men in the country are now facing major backlash for doing things that, if it were even 10 years ago, would have been okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been talked about. Still wouldn't have been. Some of that stuff wouldn't have been okay. But the only one I feel I would have a hard time with, but then again, I don't know, is George Bush Sr.
Okay.
His biggest crime seemed to be patting the girl on the behind.
He should be stoned.
Stone that was.
Stone.
But to me, I don't know if he's patting the girl on the behind because I don't think it's a sexual thing. I think it's more just that's just what he does as a guy.
I think that there's a couple of these cases that are cases of men meaning no harm when they done it.
Yeah.
But they done it anyway. So why are they all coming out apologizing? All of them. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
I don't know. They're scared for their jobs and stuff like that. Better apologize, or I'm going to get sued. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to lose my position and everything. Simply because I said the girl was pretty. It is hard. We was at the Women of Color Coalition there the other day, and there were some very attractive women there and stuff.
Okay.
It'd be, it's hard not to say you look good, but
Right.
I generally would say it anyways because that's what it's like. You went through all that problem, that trouble, and to put on and come out here and you look good. I know you didn't do it for me, but you look good, you know.
Yeah, they
But
were.
it's not hitting on anybody.
Right. But we didn't, because we stayed in our little corner, we didn't kill so many women. I was scared to move. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to set anyone off. They asked me to do something. Yes, ma'am. I jumped up and did it what they wanted me to do a picture for them. I took the picture for them, gave it right back, ran right back to my corner and sat down. I did not want to be destroyed by all those women in that room. It was intimidating, truth.
See, but I hug people, and these black African Americans hug. At least
Yep.
the ones from the South. This is how you greet somebody. When
Right.
you greet somebody, especially a friend that they know or something, like you don't have to know them to know their whole thing and been in their house to eat food and stuff like that. But this is how the greetings are that you greet people in African American society, especially from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Is a hug, a good morning, good morning, a hug, how are you? To a friend and stuff. That's what you do. Now, even to sometimes the complete strangers, you give them a hug in an environment that's suitable for hugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but you can't do that to some middle class white woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because now you're sexually assaulting this woman. You know, it's like. They want to have this, and I think that comes because I think that the white American, even though there's a lot of them, the ethnicities are all over the place in white America.
Mm-hmm.
They follow the behavioral patterns of old English.
Mm-hmm.
They're so rigid.
Yes.
Hello, women stick a hand, voice gets deep, put that hand squeeze on you, and stuff. Please, I don't even want to talk to you.
Well, they don't want to be subjugated by their sexuality. That's why.
Look at here.
Watch what you say right now. Choose your next words wisely. You don't want to get us in trouble.
It's November 14th. Huh?
It's November 14th, 2017. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
This is not 1990.
No. But please, some of the women here in this world, if you're gonna take all the energies and you're gonna do things, you're gonna half starve yourself, you're gonna eat bland food,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna do anything that's gonna make any dents in that little owl-shaped glass design that you've created and stuff like this. And you go outside and you can't take a comment, go and buy several pizzas and eat them. Because you don't need to be looking like that if you can't take a comment. Because it's like, I mean, you have all the rights of individuality and all the pursuits of happiness that you want and everything to do this. But somebody's going to look.
Okay.
And somebody's going to comment. So if you're going to really make yourself into some kind of something that you want to be looked at, they come with comments sometimes.
Right, but a lot of those comments are creepy comments, and we have to
creepy
learn.
comments are accepted in any walk.
Right, we have to learn the art of being able to flirt without being sleazy.
That's right.
And I think it's becoming more and more sleazy to show that you're interested in a female. Period.
Yeah. You know. When I was one of them young soldiers and stuff like that, one of my little comment lines, because I thought it was safe, was I always commented the way they made the clothes look.
Okay.
But you can't do that today.
No.
Because
That's
clothes, some of these clothes they wear today, we should call them underwear.
Yeah. So that is sexual harassment. That falls into the sexual harassment line category.
Before you say, oh man, you make those look good. You know, those fit you well. You know,
right.
That's a good look on you or something like that there. You're commenting the way that I felt as though that they must have wanted to be looked at because they bought the clothes and made the design of the body. So that's a good comment. But you can't do that today because, oh boy, you sure do those spandex are good.
Right. So
Smack.
here's the Here's the problem with men hitting on women at all from now on. If a man is more attracted to the woman than the woman is attracted to the man, 99% of the time, anything he does is sexual harassment.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you just go up to females, hey, are you attracted to me so I can know how to respond or how I can know how to move forward? I don't know what the proper etiquette is to courting a woman anymore.
I don't think there ever was a proper etiquette to court the woman. I think it was all luck of the draw, or you got good friends, or you met someone in a bar room, or now you pay money to go on and get some get a date for you from somebody else after this big history lineup of them and stuff. It's like it's a big industry now.
Well, but the problem used to be is when you used to strike out with a woman, that was just it. Now, if you strike out with a woman, you can face charges. You can be fired from your job. You can never be able to work. Look at some of these men. Well, these are not just hitting or striking out with a woman. Some of these things are disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting is disgusting. If you know disgusting, then that's disgusting.
Yep.
But hitting on a woman and stuff, I don't even say hitting on a woman. But if you see something and you're attracted to that woman, then I think that just because people are people, you should have a conversation. But then you can't pretend too. Just because a woman looks really very, very sexual and very, very nice and got all that thing, there might be nothing up in that head but sheer empty. It's like, how do you have a conversation with empty?
Right.
You know, this happens. You know, so then you know, because the first thing that you moved you towards that woman wasn't what was in that head. She ain't opened her mouth yet.
Right.
It was what was inside those clothes.
Yes.
And so, you know, now you're stuck.
Right.
What are you going to do now?
So you can't act on that. You have to. I don't. Everything gets you in trouble these days.
Yeah.
Everything does.
It's like, wow, you sure look good, but can you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Yes, you are now under arrest.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's like, yeah.
Well, Harvey Weinstein, they in New York and California, they are looking to build a case to press charges, and they're saying that it's likely charges will be pressed against him.
Well, he was crazy.
Yep.
You know, all these predators. I don't get that at all. Even though we're right here playing about if you see a woman that's you know, that's excitingly looking to you and stuff like this here, you say hello and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't go up there and grabbing on things and
right.
stuff like that. That's just not right.
Yep.
That's wrong. And that's you know, that need never be done to anybody.
Right.
And then all these men grabbing on these little kids, it's like, what's up with that? I don't get that at all. Little kids are funny. Well, they're little kids.
Well, so it's Weinstein. He'll probably never work again.
Good.
Dustin Hoffman it was Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Or even Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman was accused of groping a 17-year-old on the set of the movie Death of a Salesman. And he talked about sex to me and in front of me, she says. So Dustin Hoffman, another famous actor, hit on a 17-year-old in 1985 when he had to at least have been 26, 27, I believe.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with the hitting on, you know. I really don't, because in that world, she was 17?
Yes.
Did he know she was 17?
Yes, he was working with her.
Yeah, but do you know how old people are when you work with them?
Yes.
I don't.
I know at least a ballpark figure around if they're of age or not.
A ballpark figure when you're 26 years old and you're looking at a 17-year-old, a ballpark, you know, she's 17, she looks older, she could be 18, 19. That's all fair game in that regard, except that she's not old enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, hello, how old are you? You know?
Yep.
And I mean, that would be one way to get around that thing. So I don't know, but the conversation, I don't know what the conversation was, and talking about sex and stuff like that. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what that's about. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if
Um.
that's the only thing that they're thinking about for a relationship. Then it's like the the woman should have right up front said no.
Talking about sex with your coworker, anyways. It's such a weird time. It's a grow coming from a time period, me at least, coming from a time period where and all we did was listen to songs about sex, talk to friends about sex, girls about sex, have sex. It was all sex, sex, sex in the 90s. To come from that to now, where we're in this politically correct era where you can't breathe the wrong way
Yeah.
without it being seen as a term or a way of harassing someone, it's difficult for me to really grasp the whole concept.
Yeah, but that was the same thing coming from my era. All the songs were all about sex.
Mm.
Hey, you get off of my cloud. That was like, what you doing on my woman and stuff like this here. But it's the only thing was they didn't use the vulgarity that some of the
Right.
songs used
Right.
today. So you had to be a little bit more in tune with what's going on. But the rhythm was kind of more danceable, so you didn't really pay attention to the words anyway, because you were
Mm-hmm.
busy. Oh, this is a good song to dance with the girl with.
Mm-hmm.
We danced anyways. Yeah, there was all these things. Where I think that this stuff really started to get out of control, not just in Hollywood, but in other places. When the women started to want to get into the business aspect of places, and they wanted to be in the men's clubs, and they wanted to be in all these things that was regularly, just this is what the men do, and they hang out and stuff, because it's like they wanted to get in, and they knew the rules once they got in, but then once they got in, they wanted to change the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wanted to change the rules in everything that they wanted to do. It used to be commonplace talking about the water cooler conversations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to get in and be in those things because they saw this was the ladder to that you had to climb for success. You had to know the whole culture of the company and stuff. And then they wanted to change it.
Yep.
It's like, well, you can't be vulgar. Well, I was vulgar yesterday. Why I can't be vulgar today?
Right.
Because you're now in the office and stuff. No,
Mm-hmm.
no. They did it in the military too.
Wow.
It's like you couldn't go into people's face like this here and stuff because they're the women.
Mm-hmm.
Can't intimidate them. What? Then it's I could have handled all that stuff. I mean, you couldn't talk about what are you, some little girl or something like that? Give me 10 more,
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't say those things like
Nope,
that.
not anymore.
No.
You get in trouble for that.
Yeah, but it's like the women wanted to join the military and be treated like the men.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they got in there, they wanted the men to treat them like they were women, and they wanted everything to be this way. And then, for some reason, I blame it on Kennedy.
Yep.
That now you have to have all these political correct things to say and political correct things to do and stuff. And I agree, vulgarity. There's no place for vulgarity.
Mm-hmm.
There's total rudeness. There's no place for rudeness. There's no place for assault, grabbing people, and those things like this. But if the guys are going now to the bar room on the shore down there, where the boats come in, they do the hard work,
Mm-hmm.
and they're drinking beers and stuff like this, and after work, and the women want to go in there, you better bring some earplugs.
Well,
And some sensitivity towards what these guys are going to do,
Mhm.
because that's the environment you're breaking into. And once they get in there, they want to change the environment.
right, and those environments are being more and more destroyed as time
Yeah.
goes by. If I were to advise all you men out there who are listening, the first thing I would tell you is don't hit on a woman.
No.
Let them hit on you first so you know that you have the green light. Wait for that green light before you hit on a woman, because you could put yourself and your career and all the things and your freedom even in jeopardy. Kevin Spacey will probably never work again. Dustin Hoffman will probably never work again. Andy Dick, he's gone.
Good.
Danny Masterson, Oliver Stone. Do you know who Oliver Stone is? The producer. Yeah, he's the producer of a lot of war movies, actually. And a ex-Playboy playmate said that he groped her one time at a party, and they're thinking that he may not have anything to do in Hollywood again. Now, even if these are untrue, if someone came out right now and accused me of something, the public belief would be that they're telling the truth now.
Yeah,
it used to be the complete opposite. It used to be when a girl would say, "Oh, he raped me," they would attack the girl. "Oh, well, what were you wearing? What were you doing? Why did this happen? Why didn't you tell anybody?" They would attack the victim.
Yeah.
Now they call that victim blaming, and you can't do that anymore. Yep, the PC police has eradicated victim blaming.
Oh, yeah. And you know, I get a big chuckle out of one thing. Because, like I said, I remember the times when they used to have commercials about spousal brutality. What do you call that?
Domestic abuse?
Yeah, domestic abuse during the football games. They don't have that anymore. Now they got the women trying to say, well, this is what they got to do in the football game.
Yep.
Making the rules on how to play the football game.
Yep.
They can't wear those helmets because those helmets aren't good for the football game. And all these things. And it used to be, all right, women, this is what's happening to the public right now. It's football season, so make sure that you don't do A, B, C, and D to your husband and to the men while they're watching football so they don't get mad at it. And get all upset because it's a very stressful time for them.
Yeah.
Watch. It's like now it's just the opposite because this is what they do, and shame on the men. You let it happen. You know, you allowed that to happen. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, when they first went in the men's club, the rules were no business conducted in the men's clubs. Those were the rules. Those were the they're not written down anywhere, but these were the rules. We don't conduct any business in the men's club. We're in the men's club, hanging out, drinking beers, doing this, trying to show off all our good things. And the networking that they're doing is just making friends.
Right.
Talking about different social events. Business was conducted in the bathroom.
Yep.
If you really wanted to talk to somebody about some business type of adventure that was coming up, you wait till he got his whole manhood out, taking a pee. And you go right up next to him and say, "Hey, what do you think about this new proposal that's coming out your next day?" Now, he's standing out there exposed to the world. He got to answer you. He got no choice. This is how the men played the game. They knew it was the game. Women can't play. They couldn't get in the bathroom.
Right.
So they changed all the rules. They were doing business, coming in with their big old briefcases and stuff. You know, so they started doing business in the environment that they could in the men's club.
Wow.
And this was I believe one of the starts to this whole thing. You know, like I said, that was the unwritten rule. That's how you did things. You know, and it worked for them. You know.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll take a break because my head hurts. I don't know what to. I don't even want. Oh man, it's to the point now where it's like whenever I talk to a female, I feel like.
Oh yeah, I do too. You know, like I said, that women's thing.
Yep.
What's her name? Celia.
Yep.
Celia Blue. Very attractive woman. Right. I told her she looked good though. You know, because she did. You know, she put on all the makeup. Takes good care of her body and her mind sharp and everything. She's depressed. She all around looked like a very. I was not hitting on her or anything like that. You know, there was no sexual thought or anything like that. It was just giving her a compliment because she did all that good work and everything. And I thought close enough to be a friend. Know her now for a year, more than a year. So yeah, well, yeah, you're looking good, you know.
What, did she say thank you, or did she say get away from me?
She said you're looking good too.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, but I don't think, maybe we'll come back from there. because I'll get in trouble for saying this here. But I'll leave it with you anyway.
Okay.
I think it's more of Americanized European thing than it is African American or any other thing like that. I really think it's more of a white thing than a black thing with some of the comments.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what we'll do is we'll take a break and we'll be back on Truth It in the AM.
Yeah. Just guilt.
Nope. Just time. You know, you gotta every once in a while gotta go see them and see how they're doing, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're back. It is Truth It in the AM. It is your boy Truth It with Trooper Joe.
Hi, folks. Trooper Joe's back here getting in trouble.
Yeah, well, I can't afford to get in trouble.
Will baby do it too.
No, I did not.
Hey, did.
Can't make Truth do nothing he don't want to do. If anybody knows Truth, they know that that's a bold-faced lie. Can't no one make Truth do anything. Oh man. So
Troop has a question though.
Go ahead.
Do women really like men anymore? Is it just men just in the way of their getting to the top, and they have to use what they have available to them to get to the top? So I'm gonna get in trouble with that one.
I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know it's starting to seem. I remember last year on Voice of the Voiceless, which airs every Tuesday from 12 to 1 on WCUW 91.3 FM. Dread St. Mike, a.k.a. Mike Talk a Lot, a.k.a. Mike Camera Action, Michael J. Thriller, Negro Spiritual, I'm in the building. Yeah, him.
That's the one.
He said there's no such thing as a good man. And he doesn't know any good men.
He don't know any good men.
Right, there's no such thing. I'm starting to believe him. I'm starting to think he was onto something because it's like, man, we can't do anything without getting in trouble.
I think I gotta disagree with that. I think there's a whole lot of good men out there, but I think that like I said, what are women looking for in a man? You know, are they looking for? They're not looking for the father figure anymore because they're blaming the father for sexual assault when they were young, so he's out. You know?
Right.
What are they looking for?
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm not understanding. You know, it's all changed. Before I want to, you know, they were looking for a man like their father. Their father was the breadwinner. He come home, you know, and he might smell like work or something like that. And this is what but that's gone.
Yep.
So what are the women looking for? They want someone that they can just push around or something?
I don't know what.
I don't know. I got a good relationship myself, but other people might say to me sometimes, "Well, you're a kept man," you know, but they don't realize that my age, I don't work. I'm retired. You know, sorry that you look a whole lot older than I do, and you feel bad like that. You can't do these things, but I'm retired.
Okay.
But you know, and it's not that I don't work. I innovate and create now. I'm creating a whole field for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired. That's what I do. Yeah, the wife's younger than I am, and she enjoys her work, and she's really engaged in that, and I support her in that. And that's a relationship that I have. But what is the relationship that other people have? I know you got a great relationship with your wife. I see the love and the joy. I really enjoy that. I want to thank you for letting me steal some of that love and joy and all that chaos that runs around here sometimes.
Okay, the key word you said was chaos, because there's a lot of chaos.
They're fun, though. They're just kids.
I don't even flirt with my wife anymore because I'm afraid I'll get in trouble. I don't want to be... Wife comes out and says husband sexually harassed her. I don't... You can't do anything anymore, Troop. You know, you can't. You can't do nothing. I'm at a loss. I think all men are... I'm starting to think all men are bad. Because I'm learning now that the way things were when I was younger are just not tolerated anymore. And this happened in the span of 1 year.
1 year.
All this stuff happened in one, from the second that Donald Trump said grab her by the vajayjay, and then all the women did that huge World Women March.
World Women March.
Oh man, everything became a problem. The downfall of Bill Cosby, now the downfall of all these other Hollywood guys.
Oh yeah, it's scary out there.
It is. And it's not like I don't, first off, I never want to be in a position or in a place where I'm not wanted. If I feel like I'm not wanted someplace or someone doesn't want me around them, I have no problem leaving.
No.
So I don't want it to be like that. Want anybody to think anything differently. Like I want to be able to flirt with as many women as possible and get away with it. No, I don't want to be around anybody who don't want to be around with me. But still, I have flirted with women in the past, and I did not know how bad it was until now. I have catcalled women in the past.
Oh, I didn't get into that.
You've never catcalled women before?
Nah, too lazy.
Yeah, I was more shy, but I still had my moments when I would say some really bad things now.
No, I was too lazy and like, I'm an introverted type of person. Even though I'm on the radio and laughing, joking, people see me laugh. You know, it's like many things just for me. It didn't matter. You know, it didn't matter. And I see women and men. I see them as conversations. You know, I can have a conversation with a woman about football just as I can have a conversation with a man about football in today's world. You know. And that's how I do. It's all good, just conversation. You know, they're people. I see them as people. I don't see them as I see them as women. It's some women like, but again, I'm in the gym all the time too. So there's a whole lot of spandex all around me and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you know, if I see a woman who did a lot of whole good look work and stuff like that, yeah, I'll look at them.
Don't stare too long.
Nah, I ain't gonna stick it. Then it breaks up my workouts, you know.
Yeah, they'll break up a lot more than your workout. You get accused of harassment or something,
Nah.
and then
Yeah, I might, but it's like I don't have time for that. I only have one woman I remember now on a bus.
yep.
I was on the bus,
Mm-hmm.
and the bus was way crowded and stuff like this, and she was down on the stairs. When you get up on the back of the bus, the stairs, she was down on the stairs, and I was standing up on top of the thing like this here. And don't you know, this woman said, "Oh, what are you trying to just look down my blouse?" And I was rude after that, and I said, "Lady, you're 50 pounds overweight, and that blouse is probably your kid's." It's like, I'm not trying to look down, I'm trying to look away from it.
Wow.
So sometimes I get a little rude, but it's like, what? I wasn't even looking at this woman. And I think that's what made it bad. She wasn't getting any attention from anybody with that little shirt on and stuff like that. And please, lady, man, you ought to hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's you can't say that to a woman these days now.
Well, I
Well, you can
can't.
still be rude to him, I guess. Just not flirt with him.
I could be politely rude if I wanted to be.
Right.
I could have said something. I probably get in trouble on this radio right now. Say something like, "Well, those mammary glands that lie left and right of that sternum are nothing more than a bunch of lipid cells all mashed together, and they need to be reduced." I could have said something like that.
Yes, it's a good thing you didn't. We're happy that you didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah, like, whose fault? Who was that fault? Of course I was for being rude, but it's like, why did the lady attack me when I wasn't even looking at her? This was the whole thing. I didn't notice you, and even if I was looking in your direction, I wouldn't have seen you.
right.
You don't appeal to me.
So there's this other man on this other show who's getting kicked off of the network for making transphobic comments. That's another thing. anything that men used to do, we can't do anymore. And I'm not saying we should want to make transphobic or homophobic comments towards anyone at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying things that we kind of grew up saying. We got into a lot of trouble for saying those things. I grew up in a time when we used to always call someone the homosexual slur, the gay slur, and it was commonplace to me. Now you lose a lot trying to talk to people like that. You get in a lot of trouble for talking to people like that. So you have to be careful with how you talk to. The culture is changing, and you have to be hip with the culture. You have to make sure you know what's going on in the culture at all times to avoid being caught in that same kind of situation. Because it's very easy to get caught being behind on the times in the situation. All you got to do is just go sit next to an angry old person and listen to the way they talk about people. They'll use all kinds of foul language and just a lot of things that'll get said that you would not expect a person to say. I remember I got called the N-word before by an elderly person, and they were like, and when I said it was offensive, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I grew up calling your people that."
Yeah.
So they stayed in the old culture. The culture had changed and left it behind. Right. It's what they. So that's the question. If it's what they knew, should some of these men get a pass? Especially some of these men that are accused of now the pedophilia thing. No, there's never a time when pedophilia was ever looked at as okay, and culturally. But some of these men who flirted with women in like the 80s.
I think if you're in an environment, if you're out in a bar room and stuff like this here, and a woman come in, you're talking to the woman and you're flirting and you're trying to put your best compliments forward, and the compliments, the only ones you know is from the past. Boy, you're beautiful, yo, and all these stupid compliments like this here, and they might be a little rude and stuff because that's the environment you come from. I think that the onus is on both. I think that the woman should walk away unless she's interested. This is the part I don't understand. When does women give up your secret so that the men know what you're interested in, then you don't have this problem.
Yes, if they just walk in, if you just walk into a bar and they say, okay, you can flirt with me, you can flirt with me, you cannot flirt with me, and I guess that'll save you a lot of money too, so you don't have to worry about buying drinks unless you know they're gonna get you somewhere.
That's it. You come in. I like my guys between 5'5" and 5'7". You know. Okay, everybody is either 5'2" or
6 feet. Get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no place here.
Yeah, you gotta let them go. Guys aren't smart. You know, they're not very smart when it comes to this thing. And then I think women too are very sensitive about a lot of these things that go on. I also think that there's some evil, very nasty women out there. They're just mean. You know, I think that they're just mean. I don't know why they're mean. I just think that they're mean. There could have been something that really terrible happened to them in their youth or something, but I think they're just mean. They act like they're just so much better than everybody and stuff. Like, what are you looking at? I don't even know.
I think some of this stuff is unfair, the way we crucify the men, though.
Yeah,
but we used to crucify the women when the women used to come out. But now, for example, one woman is accusing a man of sexually harassing her, and the man fired back saying, no, we had an intimate relationship. We were actually in a relationship. Shouldn't it be...
Then where's the harassment?
Right, exactly. But she's saying they were never in an intimate relationship.
Yeah, but that's the meanness. He probably thought it was an intimate relationship. He probably thought holding hands and kissing them on the jaw was an intimate relationship.
Okay, let me ask this. Is it possible to rape someone you're married to?
Well, I would think so.
Okay, there's a lot of men who don't think so.
They don't think so?
We're so dumb.
Yeah, I would have to. I don't think there's any time for rape at all. I don't think forcing yourself upon anybody, that's not right.
Right.
Even if you're, that goes, I think, more so for the woman than the man. I think that the woman, if the man really, and you're using that as a way just to just own him, basically. This is my man, and he got to do everything I tell him and stuff like this, or I shut you off.
Right.
It's like, what? What's up with that? Give me all your money, go to work, get 2 jobs, and then get another job on the weekend, and bring all that money home, and I'm going to spend all that money on shoes and all kinds of fine stuff like this here for myself. And if you don't like it, you shut off. Or get out of my house, or any of that stuff. That's wrong.
Right.
That's wrong, because the guy got no recourse. What's he going to do? He yells and screams. Now he's getting arrested for spousal abuse.
Yep.
So it's like that. Now, to me, that's 100% wrong on the woman's part.
Yep.
That's 100% wrong. And I don't know. I don't understand. And the judge who's running for the representative senate.
More?
Yep. I don't know what's up with that. I really don't know what's up with that. I gotta believe the women in some regard. The last woman who came out, I think that her testimony was too precise, too exact, and there wasn't enough emotion in it for somebody to hold that amount of detail for that many years and then come out with that much detail. So I think, did it happen? I don't think it happened in the exact way that she said it happened. You know, I think it's not really like that. I have no idea what all this is all about and stuff. But there's one thing I do know. I don't care. It's like, come on, people.
Some people are saying Moore attacked them when they were a child. Some people are saying Moore used to hang out at the mall to flirt with young girls. This man's in...
Well, he's insane, and he needs to be locked up. He's a predator.
But there's no proof against him.
I know. That's what they need to do. Investigate him and find proof. Not put it all over the media.
Right. Because now, with the way things are, in the court of public opinion, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to be a judge. I don't want to pass judgment on this guy, but it's all over the media and stuff like this. So you got to think about it.
Right.
Especially if we do radio, we're going to talk about it. And people are going to say, well, what do you think about it? I don't know, really. Don't know the guy, don't know the situation. Can only go by what I'm reading in the paper. But this last one with the woman's testimony that came out there and stuff, to me it was too scripted, and it was too exact, and there wasn't enough emotion on that woman's part for me to 100% say that this took place the way that she said that it took place.
Right.
That's the only thing I can say about that. That doesn't say that he's not the evil predator that everybody says he is. It's not saying that. I'm only saying that there's one person, and her testimony does not, in my little world, have a lot of validity.
So do you think his career should be destroyed the way it is and everything over just your belief that the story sounds too good to be true? I mean, to be false?
I don't think that his career should be destroyed because everybody says it should be. If he's guilty, if it's proven guilty that he's done these things, he should go to jail for it.
Right, but there's no proof. How can you can't prove? Like, if I say someone touched me in 1986, there's no proof. There's no physical proof or anything like that. So you have to go on whether you believe it or not. And
well, that's why I think it shouldn't be in the news, especially somebody running for public office like that. But it should be investigated.
Yeah,
and there should be repercussions if this happens. And there should be repercussions if this doesn't happen. These women who came forward, I don't know why these women came forward.
Well, there's a lot of pastors who backed Moore, and one pastor says, I'll believe Moore until he admits it. So as long as Moore is in denial, this particular pastor says he believes him. Pastor Mike Allison has known Roy Moore for more than 20 years and says he does not believe the accusations against him. Now, you believe that at least one of the accusations against him, don't you?
I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he's like or anything like this. I know that the accusations against him a lot. What I do know is he's running for office for a Republican seat as a Republican.
Yeah.
That's going to have a huge impact on the way that the Senate votes.
Right.
If the Democrats win that seat, it's gonna have a huge impact because the whole government is in such a disarray at the moment and stuff. This is right at this moment. This is a very important seat.
Right. So
And
this could be a witch hunt.
it could be, and that's the whole thing. Just the way politics is being run now, and the way people are looking at these things with politics and stuff. This here could definitely be a strategy that somebody put in there. I don't doubt this couldn't be a strategy. They got some of these people from his past to say this and they could have promised them this, that, and the other thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope not, but it could be some. And I'm basing that on the all this stuff about WikiLeaks and Russia and stuff. It's like, when did Russia really vote over here in the United States?
Right.
I don't understand it. When did we become that stupid that we have to do whatever Russia tells us?
Right.
You know, so I don't understand. So could it be? Sure, it could be. I don't think so, and I also don't know if he's done these things that he said he done.
Well, there's 5 women now that's accused him of that, and a lot of these men, and he's pretty much going to. Well, I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think so either.
Now, not after these allegations, but listen, man, if I'm innocent and 5 women come out after me, I want their heads on a platter.
Yeah.
For ruining my career, there should be, and I'm not saying the women are lying, but like I said, we come from a culture. I lived in a culture where when a woman did come out, the first thing that they would say was she's lying.
Yeah.
So for me to get out of that thought process, it's going to take time to get used to what's going on with how things are looked at today. A lot of these men, these famous men that have been accused of sexual, like Brett Ratner, who Olivia Munn accused him of sexually assaulting her, but he says no, we had an intimate relationship. How do you go and you know what? He's lost his job. He's lost his production company deals. He's lost a lot of stuff over that. Now he's maintaining that. Listen, we had a relationship together. It was kept a secret because we didn't want it to get out into the public. But we had a relationship. Yeah. Well, she's the one who let it out. Mm-hmm. How do you fight against that?
I don't know. This is the whole thing. I think that we can't regulate people's emotions. though, you know.
But we're crucifying people without any real proof. For he say, she say. With nothing circumstance, just for their word against mine, I get crucified. I lose everything.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem is that, not the problem, but the door got opened and you let this in, and then you let this happen.
Well, thanks a lot, Bill Cosby, and thanks a lot, Donald Trump. You guys have done a lot for this. Now we can't flirt with women anymore.
Yeah, it basically that's what they said. The women have advanced when it comes to things of education and things of like. So a lot of men haven't advanced.
Nope.
You know, they've stayed in the realm of, yeah, well, you know, I'll get a nice job out here working in the service area or labor, construction or something like that. I'll get a job in sales. But they haven't increased any other thing. And the women have been going to college and educating themselves, and they want to be compensated for that. They want to have the big share in the big seat and everything. But then they walk into a predominantly male world and they want to make the changes. Mm-hmm. And most of the changes that they want to make are changes that deal with moral behavior and ethic behavior. Just, you know, these things, they weren't really there when in the day, you know. And you know what's funny too? I'm just thinking about the cat calls and stuff like that. Now, who used to do the cat calls with the construction workers?
Yep.
Construction workers do the cat calls and everything. And who would the pretty girl run to if some bad guy from some place where she shouldn't have been was chasing her down the street?
The construction worker.
The construction site. Cause old cat caller's coming down there ready to throw hands too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they, you know, this is kind of a two-way type of thing. Don't call me beautiful, but if somebody's coming at me, think of me as a beautiful piece of sculpture and come down and protect my virtue.
Right.
You know, it's like they're getting, not to say the women getting it both ways, but it's like the men are getting it.
Men don't have a foothold in nothing right now in 2017. It has become uber pro female now.
Yeah.
It's old money pushing out new money, a texter says.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's new money pushing out old money is what they meant to say.
Yeah, new money pushing out the old money. Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
Is exactly what it is. Because that new money is women.
Yep.
Women are, they're getting into the suit jobs and stuff like that. They're heavily into management.
Mm-hmm.
You know, heavily into supervisory positions and stuff like that. And they're making the rules. And that's okay. Because they have the knowledge, you know, they can do the work.
Mm-hmm.
They're innovative and everything. I don't think they're risk takers, but I don't think they've got that far yet. I don't think that they're really, I think they know how to innovate, but I don't think they know how to really take the risk to innovate. Some do, and they move on into higher positions.
Mm-hmm.
But because they don't take the risk, then they put in these rules and regulations to try to level the playing thing, like they say.
Yeah, a playing field.
Yeah, you know, so you can't look at me. You know, you can't touch. Why your hands on my shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in my chair. I'm trying
Right.
to get you out of it. You know.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a tough world out there, but I don't think there's any real right. The right or wrong comes when the law is being abused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're assaulting children, you're wrong.
Yep.
If you're assaulting women, you're wrong.
Yep.
If you're a woman assaulting men, you're wrong.
Yep. If you call a woman beautiful, you're wrong. If you say, hey, nice body, you're wrong. If you say, hey, do you want to go out on a date with me later? You're wrong. Hey, I find you attractive. You're wrong.
It's not even a date. It's like, yo, you want to go get a cup of coffee? You know, you're on break. Hey, you going to break? Yeah. All right. Want to get a coffee? I got it. Oh. You don't think that I'm good enough to buy my own or something?
Right. I'm telling you, you can't win. You can't win. I thought I was going to get some, I don't know. You can't win in anything, Truth. Unfortunately, it is almost 11 o'clock, which means it is time for Truth It in the AM to come to an end. If you still want to listen to Truth It and Trooper Joe, you can still tune in to 91.3 FM WCUW from 12 to 1 p.m. for Voice of the Voiceless. We're going to be talking about taxes being raised in Worcester, and among other things that are going on and in the great city, the voter turnout, and among other things.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to us, you can listen to us from 12 to 1 p.m. WCUW 91.3 FM. Truth It and Trooper Joe will be in the building. It is your boy Truth It. I'll holler.
And I'm Trooper Joe, and I want everybody to have that fun. And remember, you can catch me tomorrow on Archangel, A Return to Chivalry from 3 to 4 on
blogtalkradio.com/Archangel, A Return to Chivalry.
Tomorrow we're going to be trying to look at what is a swagger.
Swagger.
That's right.
Swag.
We just talked swagger out.
Yes. All right. I'll holler.